Hi friends, welcome to this week's video. Kind of back to our regularly scheduled programming this week. I'm sharing a cooking video. I'm going to be showing you how to make this very easy and delicious Channa Masala. This is a relatively quick recipe. We're going to use canned chana. You can of course use dried chana as well. It's a very delicious and fragrant curry. It also happens to be vegan, which is always great. This was part of our dinner on Friday, the Friday that just went by. We've been doing a lot of unpacking and organizing. That's kind of what our days are filled with, but this was something that I pulled together really quickly using mostly pantry items, which means you can do the same. You'll see here that I'm cutting up my tomato, onion, garlic, ginger. Everything is just roughly chopped. Nothing here has to be too careful or meticulous because we are going to be blending it up. And of course, the canned chana needs a thorough washing. If you're using dried chana, which means you've soaked it and then steamed it, you're fine. You can just skip that part. Cooking on medium-high heat here. I've added some vegetable oil and half the onions. You can tell I've already made curry with that spoon, right? It's stained from haldi. So we're going to cook down these onions until they're just translucent or starting to become translucent, and then add the garlic and ginger. Continue cooking that for another minute or so before adding the chopped tomato. And of course, a little bit of salt. Then we're going to combine everything and add some more spices, some haldi or turmeric, as well as lal mirch powder or red chili powder. You can turn down the heat a little bit if you need to, but once the tomatoes are nice and mushy, this step is done. So we're going to switch it off, allow this to cool a little bit because we are going to blend this up to form the basis of our curry. While that's cooling, I'm going to grab some additional aromatics and spices that we need to flavor our curry. As you can see, I haven't gotten around to organizing these drawers, but most of what I'm pulling out here is stuff that you might already have. The only thing that is remotely mysterious is the black cardamom, and if you don't have it, just substitute a green cardamom pod. That'll be fine. Of course, the black cardamom does have a completely different flavor. They're not interchangeable, but in the absence of the black one, you can use the green one. Okay, moving ahead, I'm adding some whole spices here. So I have the cinnamon, the cloves, the black cardamom, and the bay leaf on medium heat this time. To this, I'm adding the other half of the chopped onion, and I'm going to cook this down for a few minutes until the spices are nice and aromatic. And then it's time to reintroduce the tomato onion puree. And if you would like to add a chili pepper, you don't have to cut it up in order to add it. You can just make a little slit in the pepper, add it in, and that way if you'd like to extract it later on, you can do so. I'm also adding some coriander powder and garam masala. After combining this with the tomato puree, it's time to let this mixture cook uncovered for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then you can go ahead and add the chana as well as enough water to cover them. I'm satisfied with the thickness of my curry, but if you would prefer a thicker curry, you can take out some of the chana, blend it up, and add it back into the pot, and that'll thicken things up. Otherwise, it's time to cover it up and let it cook, just bubbling away for about 15 to 20 minutes. Besides the packing and organizing, not much else has happened yet. We do have some pretty big renovations coming up, so I will be sharing more about that, specifically in the basement, but all I did this week was put up a bunch of baby gates. And there is still tons of unpacking left to do, like I didn't even have a vase for these flowers. I had to use one of the canisters from my Ninja Bullet. Okay, coming back to this chana, it's time to adjust the salt if necessary. We also have 2 more things to add, the kasuri methi, which is dried fenugreek, and a bit of amchur powder, which is dry mango powder. Once you've combined these ingredients, your chana is done. You can serve it up, transfer it to a bowl. This is really nice with like a basmati rice or maybe a lacha paratha. And there are a few things that I would remove. So I would pick out the bay leaf, for example. I'm going to leave the mirch because I like things kind of hot and spicy. But I would also remove the black cardamom pod as well. Everything else, I think the cinnamon is okay to stay, as well as the cloves. And that's it. You may wish to garnish it. You may not wish to garnish it. The choice is yours, but either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for watching. I will see you very soon next week with another video, and I hope that you are safe and well wherever you are. I will be right here, where I always am, continuing to unpack endlessly. If you want to follow house adventures, you can follow me on Instagram, but there's no pressure. Alrighty, bye for now.